What is up, you guys? This is JP, and we are going to go through one of my entire leg workouts. So even though I said my leg workout, I meant in the sense that it's my leg workout and that I'm doing it. It's not actually the leg workout that I wrote for myself. A few weeks ago, I actually started working with a coach, my coach. His name is Jason. He's from Stronger by Science. Again, I always mention this because people always think, with YouTube, there's a lot of sponsorships that go on that. This isn't a sponsorship, it's just the coach that I'm working with for my programming. And again, I really respect Stronger by Science as a website. They got a lot of good coaches on there, and I've been loving the training that I'm getting so far. It's just online training. He's writing me a program, and we're checking in all the time. So I'm actually doing the program that he prescribed to me. So right now I'm on a 5-day split. It's three lower body workouts and 2 upper body workouts. I'm currently dealing with a little bit of shoulder issues, so my upper body workouts are kind of being modified right now. And I have 3 lower body workouts because this program is primarily for powerlifting or strength-based, with a secondary goal of hypertrophy. But again, my main thing is to get the big 3 numbers up: my squat, my bench, and my deadlift, which before on my own program, this is something that I kind of knew, but I just didn't really I didn't really want to do it. So this is another reason why it's good working with a coach, is that I was only doing 2 lower body days on my own program and 3 upper body days. Maybe it's just, I think it was just, the guy in me wanting to work more upper body. I felt like there are some people who don't do leg days at all. So me doing 2 hard leg days was way more than enough. And it, depending on how you distribute volume, it definitely is enough. But after doing this program, I realized that 3 days is a lot better for legs for me. I am definitely seeing great results on it. So that's basically the split I'm running right now and the goals for my program. I'm working with my coach. Today's my 3rd leg day. I had 2 other leg days where I had, you do the regular stuff, starting with a squat or a deadlift for my leg days. And I don't want to record those because those are kind of too typical. You guys see, anyone watching this channel probably sees fitness people do deadlifts and squats every single workout video. So today's workout's gonna be a little bit different from what you guys have probably seen. The first exercise that we're gonna start with is a leg press, but it's going to be a little bit different. So what you do is you push with both feet up and you lower with only one leg. So you're basically overloading the eccentric single leg and you're doing the concentric with both legs. So if you're gonna try this exercise and this kind of variation, I would definitely go a little lighter than you normally would, because again, you're gonna have to be able to, in a controlled manner, lower it with one leg. And again, because you're lowering it with one leg and you can move more weight on the eccentric than you can on the concentric, it's gonna be, you're getting that extra overload. So it's a good way to kind of, target hypertrophy if that's what your main goal is. So again, it's a good variation. I like it, and then we'll see how these 3 sets go. Right now I'm working with, I think it's 220. So again, whatever you guys like working with for leg press. I'm doing 6 reps for each leg on the eccentric, or 12 reps total. So you guys see me at the end of the exercise. So I just finished the 3 sets of the leg press with the, bilateral or both legs on the concentric and then the single leg eccentric. Again, felt great. Last time I did this, or 2 weeks ago, my 3rd set was only at 220. I started at 220 this time for my first set. Then I increased the weight to 240 because it felt kind of too easy. And then that still felt too easy, so I went up to 250. I feel like on my first set, I had maybe 4 to 5 reps in reserve, which is higher than what he programmed for me. He had me 2 to 3 RIR, so again, I had to increase the load a little bit to keep that 6 reps, but also get a little bit closer to failure. So again, 30-pound increase on this exercise, which is pretty good. For those of you who are gonna do it, be careful with the kind of learning curve on this, especially when you're going down. At first, when I first tried this 2 weeks ago, it was weird because when you take that one leg off, you have to quickly put it back on there. And when you quickly put it back on there, as you guys will see when you've seen my the footage of it, is your feet are a little bit uneven. So you kind of have to match it really quick. Like you pull it off to do the eccentric, and then you got to hurry and place it next to the other foot. So again, you can't be too picky about it if they're not exactly even. And then the two is just doing it with one leg. It almost felt like there wasn't a balance issue, but it felt, if you're someone who has like a problem with like caving in knees, or you just don't feel stable, I probably wouldn't do this exercise. For me, I feel really stable and it felt great. It had a little bit of a learning curve is what I'm trying to get at. Overall, again, felt good. Again, just a different exercise. So I really like the exercise and just went up in weight, so it's all good. So the next exercise that my coach has programmed for me, which was a little bit of a surprise to me, because I guess because of what we've been doing the last few weeks, I kind of thought I knew what I was gonna do, but I actually looked at it, and this is the first time that I've ever done this exercise, so you guys will see a trainer trying something for the first time ever. We're gonna be doing a landmine curtsy lunge. I just kind of did a quick rehearsal set just to see how it felt. It actually felt pretty good, so we'll actually see how my form feels and looks, and I guess there's really not much more to comment, because again, I haven't really said that. I'm not a big fan of lunges, and we talked about that before, but I told him that I would be okay with doing it, so I'm 99% sure, just me being a coach too, and us talking about it, he's giving me this variation because it's not like a traditional lunge. It's kind of like a single leg squat almost feel to it, from what I just tried right now. So yeah, it's not exactly like a regular lunge, because regular lunges I absolutely hate, but yep, we'll see how it feels, and I'll let you guys know at the end of the 3 sets. All right, you guys, as you can see, that was not easy. It's hard. A lot of you who do single leg exercises, or not really upper body, just single leg exercises, will know that it can feel like cardio. You do one side, then you have to do the whole other side. It's almost like doing double reps on a regular set. And anyone who's in high rep training, especially for legs, know it's horrible. It's not really the most fun, but that's what gets you good gains. Surprisingly, this actually felt really well. For my first time doing it, I felt it in my glutes. I felt definitely a burn. I felt it in my quads. And because I was kind of leaning into the landmine, you probably noticed it, it felt really linear. You know, I didn't really have to balance too much because the landmine is on a fixed path. It's not moving left and right. So yeah, I really felt it in the areas I needed to feel it, my quads and my glutes. Not so much my hamstrings, but again, for those of you smart ones out there, you probably realize that the hamstrings, Greg Nuckols did an article on that it's really overrated in squatty type movements because it crosses 2 joints. So there's really not much net change in length when you're doing like squatty type movements. So yeah, I didn't really feel it on my hamstrings, just glutes and quads. I really liked it. Again, it was kind of hard because it was single leg. I really like doing it on the landmine. It felt a little awkward, you know, holding it kind of like in that cradle position with your arms. Or that Zercher position. And then again, I've talked about this before on my channel, but I had knee surgery on my left knee, and I had to go through damn near a year of rehab on it. So that year of rehab, ironically, made my left knee my more balanced knee. So whenever I do single leg exercises, I feel more comfortable and stable on my left knee, and I can definitely tell when I was doing it with my right leg, there was a small discrepancy there, which again, it's another reason why single leg exercises are great. You can kind of really, my right leg has to take the whole load of the weight that I was using. Again, I didn't use a lot of weight. I only used 15 pounds plus the weight of the landmine, which I don't know how much they are, but again, it doesn't matter. You know, you just need to pick a load that's gonna challenge you in that rep range. I was doing 10 reps per leg, but overall, I really liked the exercise. It was really nice, and definitely, if this is something that you like doing, give it a try. Okay, this next exercise is going to be a wall-supported sissy squat. For those of you who follow the golden age of bodybuilding and kind of keep up with the bodybuilders, I'm sure at some point you've heard of the sissy squat. It's essentially just doing a squat, some squat variation where your heels come off the ground and your knees travel really far forward. Now, I'm not sure how this looks in actual applied exercise science research, but again, I haven't checked on this specifically, but anecdotally, I feel like this does hit my quads more, and I feel it on my quads more. But I guess when you're thinking about this mechanistically, this should actually target the quads more, because you are increasing that, you know, the moment arm at the knee joint for extension of the knee, you know. So when you look at what's the primary knee extensors, it's going to be the quadriceps. So again, this is just a sissy squat where your knees travel really far forward. And this variation is gonna be a little bit different because my back's gonna be against the wall and I'm gonna be holding dumbbells at my sides. So again, you're getting a little bit more stability, so you're able to overload a little bit better. If you're doing this, you know, on trying to do it body weight or something, you're definitely, for most people, you're gonna have a balance issue. So yep, I'm gonna do this wall supported, and then we're gonna get some good work on the quads. So this exercise, again, I felt it good on my quads. It can feel a little awkward, and you guys watching it probably noticed that there were a couple reps where I felt like I was gonna fall forward. So you kind of have to find a sweet spot with your feet. If you notice that my heels were coming off the ground, like I mentioned, I start with my heels coming off the ground and they're wedged against the wall. So there's a little gap beneath my heels of space there. But you kind of have to play around with how high your heel is, because, you know, I feel like if you're getting too low, you're not gonna be able to go that far down. But too high, I feel like I was gonna fall forward. So it kind of was a little, some reps it felt a little awkward. But yeah, so it felt a little hard to overload. I probably didn't feel this crazy like I did the curtsy lunges on the landmine, nor than the leg press. But again, not everything's gonna be perfect, and sometimes it just takes work. You know, if I get better at this, I can overload it a little bit better, and it'll just help me, you know, again, pay attention and work on form. So overall, I like this exercise. Just a little bit awkward on some reps, but again, if you guys wanna try it, it's good. I'm not really, again, you probably heard some bad, you know, takes on having your knees travel forward. I'm not a physical therapist, nor am I, you know, a doctor. So don't listen to me. If you've got knee problems, maybe you need to talk to your doctor. But for those of you who like the exercise, give it a go. Let me know what you think. Okay, so this last exercise is called a bridge walkout. Don't quote me on this because it would sound really weird if you went and quoted my YouTube channel, but this exercise is really going to hurt your ass. Pretty bad. Again, don't let anyone hear you watching that just by that sentence alone. It's a very, very hard exercise. It doesn't look that hard, but I just think due to like the time under tension, the duration, it's pretty brutal. I tried it. It's just called a bridge walkout. So essentially just a isometric glute bridge where you're walking your feet out, and then walking your feet out progressively makes the exercise harder. And then you walk your feet back. So you guys will see what it looks like in a moment. Again, very deceptive. It doesn't look that hard, and I actually overloaded this way too much the first time I did it, and I had to tone down. So even if you know you're hip thrusting 200, 300, 400 pounds on this exercise, I would literally use a dumbbell of like 15 to 50 pounds, depending on how strong you are. You probably don't need to go over 15 pounds if you're doing the regular amount of reps for this. So again, really deceptive, extremely hard, and this is gonna make your glutes crazy sore. So again, what I did was just bridge walkouts. Like I mentioned before, they're deceptively hard. Keeping that hips up, you know, during the entire you walking it out, walking it back, that isometric hold you're doing for your hip extension, keeping your glutes squeezed the whole time, you can really feel your glutes burn, especially during the last like 3-4 reps, really, really bad. Again, I only use 25 pounds here. So even if I'm hip thrusting whatever X amount on the machine, you know, a lot of people like to overload the regular traditional hip thrust. You should not, you know, need to go too heavy on this. You know, it's not that type of exercise. There are probably a couple reps that you even see me, my hips might have dropped a little bit, because again, it just gets really hard keeping those hips up. And for those of you who watch my channel, you probably heard me mention it before. When you get a muscle in a really shortened, contracted state, you know, when it's at like peak contraction, your actual muscle force output drops off versus when it's in that mid-range of motion. So yeah, at the very peak, you know, keeping your hips fully extended, you're not going to be able to, you know, overloaded crazy amount. So again, deceptively hard. I really felt it in my glutes. It's a great exercise. Again, that's the full recap for my entire leg workout. It was just 4 exercises. This was my easier day. I do legs 3 times per week. My other 2 days have a lot more volume in them. So this was my quote unquote lighter day. Didn't have any squats. I had those on both my other days. Didn't have any deadlifts. I had deadlifts on one day and RDL on another day, so I always have variations on both days. This was kind of like my, I don't want to say my odd variation day, but it's more of just the lighter, not as heavy compound lifts, a little bit more unique exercises, and just overall more aimed kind of towards hypertrophy, but it's not labeled a hypertrophy day. So take what you guys liked from the workout, take, leave what you didn't like. If you have any questions, comments about the workout, leave them down below. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.